Today, Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar will discuss the topic of the metrology and measurement, that is the linear and angular measurement. Linear and the angular measurement. The linear measuring instrument, evolution, types, classification, limit gauges, gauge design, terminology, procedure, concept of the interchangeability and the selective assembly, angular measuring instrument, types, bevel protector, clinometers, angle gauges, split levels, sine bar, angle alignment scope, autocollimator, and application. All the measuring instruments of the linear type and the measuring the angles have been discussed in this lecture. The aim of the inspection of a component is to see whether it lies within the prescribed limits or not, as whether it meets the workmanship demand by the service specification. The critical examination of any component can be made by means of the measuring instruments capable of the dimensional control. Measuring instruments are designed either for the line measurement, measuring distance between the two lines like steel rule, and in measurement for measuring distance between the two surfaces like micrometer, screw gauge, etc. It is very difficult to use instrument designed for one system to be used for the other system. The measuring instruments may be classified depending upon the accuracy that can be attained. The two categories are the non-precision instrument and the precision instrument. Precision instrument, vernier, micrometer, dial gauge. Non-precision instrument, steel rule, caliper, etc. Length measuring instrument. Linear measurement applies to the measurement of the length, diameter, heights, thickness, including external and internal measurement. Linear measuring instruments are designed either for the line measurement or the end measurement. In end measuring instrument, the measurement is taken between the two end surfaces, as in micrometer and the slip gauges, etc. The instrument used for linear measurement can be classified as the direct measuring instrument, indirect measuring instrument. The direct measuring instruments are of two types. Graduated instruments include rulers, vernier calipers, vernier height gauge, vernier depth gauge, micrometer, dial indicator, surface plate, etc. Non-graduate instruments include calipers, tremels, telescopic gauge, surface gauge, slip gauge, etc. Surface plate. The surface plate is an essential item for the dimensional measurement both in the laboratory and in the factory. Using all linear measurements are taken from a reference plane. The surface of a surface plate is used for this purpose. Traditionally, the flat surface plate was made from the cast iron either as a fit standing table or suitable for mounting on a bench. Both had their upper surface hand scraped to a very high degree of the flatness. The grade of the surface plate is determined by the degree of the flatness, which is defined as the distance between the two parallel planes containing all the points of the surface. In recent years, natural rock materials have become increasingly popular, and granite plates have almost entirely replaced the cast iron plates. Granite is twice hard as cast iron, and changes in temperature have only a minimal effect on the surface counter. The fine grain structure of the well-seasoned granites ensures a surface largely free from burrs and protrusion and a high degree of flatness over a relatively long period of the time. Granite surface plates are available in sizes from 300 mm to the 300 mm into the 100 mm to the 2000 mm into 1500 mm into the 300 mm. The base grade plates have a flatness ranging from 5 micrometer to the 15 micrometer. Caliper. A caliper, British spelling also caliper, is a device used to measure the distance between the two opposing sides of an object. A caliper can be as simple as compass with inward or outward facing point. The tips of the caliper are adjusted to fit across the point to be measured. The caliper is then removed and the distance read by the measuring between the tips with a measuring tool such as a ruler. It is used in many fields such as metalworking, mechanical engineering, gunsmithing, hand loading, woodworking, and the wood turning aid in medicine. Types of the caliper. Inside caliper. The inside caliper's figure is given here, are used to measure the internal size of an object. The upper caliper is in the image at the right angle requires manual adjustment prior to fitting. Fine setting of this caliper type is performed by tapping the caliper legs lightly on a handy surface until they will almost pass over the subject. A light pass push against the resistance of the central pivot screw, then spread the legs to the correct dimension and provides the required consistent field that ensures a repeatable measurement. The lower caliper in the image has an adjusting screw that permits it to be the carefully adjusted without removal of the tool from the workpiece. Two inside caliper figures are shown here. Outside caliper. Outside caliper are used to measure the external size of an object, and the figure of the outside caliper. Three outside caliper are shown here. The same observation and technique applied to this type of the caliper as for the ever inside caliper. With some understanding of their limitation and usage, these instruments can provide a high degree of accuracy and repeatability. They are especially useful when measuring over very large distances. Consider if the calipers are used to measure a large diameter pipe. A vernier caliper does not have the depth capacity to straddle this large diameter, while at the same time research the outermost points of the pipe's diameter. Vernier caliper. The principle of the vernier is that when two scales or division slightly different in sizes are used, the difference between them can be utilized to enhance the accuracy of the measurement. The vernier caliper essentially consists of two steel rules, and these can be slide along each other. One of the scales, main scale, is engraved on a solid L-shaped frame. On this scale, centimeter graduation are divided into 20 parts so that one small division equal to the 0.05 centimeter. One end of the frame contains a fixed jaw which is shaped into a contact tip at its extremity. The three elements of the vernier caliper, pitch beam, fixed jaw, and the sliding jaw, permit substantial improvement in the commonly used measuring techniques over direct measurement with line graduated rules. The alignment of the distance boundary with the corresponding graduation of the rule is ensured by means of the positive contact member, the jaw of the caliper gauge. The datum of the measurement can be made to coincide precisely with one of the boundaries of the distance to be measured. The movable jaw achieves positive contact with the object boundary at the opposite end of the distance to be measured. The closely observable correspondence of the reference marks on the slide with a particular scale value significantly reduces the extent of the readout alignment errors. A sliding jaw which moves along the guiding surface provided by the main scale is coupled to a vernier scale. The sliding jaw at its left extremity contains another measuring tip. When two measuring tips, the figure of the vernier caliper is shown here. Two surfaces are in contact with each other. Scales of the zero reading. The final adjustment of the movable jaw can be done by the adjusting screw. Figure shown here. The main scale is there, adjusting screw is there, lock nut is there, movable jaw is there, fixed jaw is there, measuring tips is there, vernier scale is there, L-shaped frame is there. The lock nut B is tightened. Final adjustment depending upon the sense of the correct fill is made by the adjusting screw. The movement of adjusting screw makes the part containing lock nut A and sliding jaw to the move as the adjusting screw rotates on a screw which in a way fixed to the movable jaw. After final adjustment has been made, the locking nut A is also tightened and the reading is not down. The measuring tips are so designed so as to measure the inside as well as outside dimension. These are the principles of the 01 mm diameter. This is the vernier scale of the 0.9. This is the 10 mm. Main scale is there. Vernier scale is there. Coinciding graduations are there. This is the measurement. Parts of the vernier scales are shown here. Number 1, outside jaw used to measure external diameter with an object. Inside jaw used to measure internal diameter of an object. Depth probe used to measure depths of an object or for a hole. Main scale measured every mm in inches and fraction. Vernier gives the interpolated measurement to the 1/10 mm or better. Vernier gives interpolated measurement in fraction of an each jaw. Retainer used to block movable part to allow the easy transferring of a measurement. Types of the vernier caliper. According to the Indian standard IS 36511974, 3 types of the vernier calipers have been specified to make external and internal measurements and are shown and respectively. All the 3 types are made with one scale on the front of the beam for direct reading. Type A, Type B, and Type C. Type A vernier has jaw on both sides for external internal measurement and a blade for the depth measurement. Type B is provided with jaw one side external and internal measurement. Type C has jaw on both sides for making the measurement or making operations. This is all the parts of the vernier scale already have been shown there. This is the clamping screw. This is the sliding jaw. Internal measuring faces are there. This is the fixed jaw. Knife edge measuring face for internal measurement. Beam is there. Main scale is there. Depth measuring blade is there. Guiding surface is there. This is the vernier caliper type B type, vernier caliper type C type. He have been shown here. The type B and the type C type of the vernier caliper, which their part name. Vernier head gauge. This is also a sort of the vernier caliper equipped with a special back block and other attachment which make the instrument suitable for the height measurement. Along with the sliding jaw assembly, arrangement is provided to carry a removable clamp. The upper and lower surface of the measuring jaw are parallel to the base so that it can be used for measurement over an under surface. The vernier height gauge is mainly used in the inspection of the part and layout work. With a scribing attachment in place of the measuring jaw, this can be used to scribe lines at certain distance above surface. However, dial indicators can also be attached in the clamp and many useful measurements made as it exactly gives the indication when the dial tip is just touching the surface. For all the measurement, use of surface plate as datum surface is very essential. For specifying the vernier height gauge, one has to specify clearly the range of the measurement, the type of the scale desired, and the any type requirement in regard to the type of the vernier desired. Generally, all the parts of the height gauge are made of the good quality steel or stainless steel also in certain cases. At the time of the fabrication, for the height gauge are suitably heat treated so as to remove any surface measuring from the possible cold working. The underside of the base and faces of the measuring jaw and scribe are hardened to about the 700 HB as good quality of the 650 RSB for the stainless steel. This is the figure saw of the height gauge. Base is there, depth of the measuring jaw is there, measuring jaw is there, lower face of the measuring jaw, scriber, upper face of the jaw, clamp is there, scale is there, fine adjustment screw is there, guiding nose is there, beam face is there, beam is there, fine adjustment clamp is there, vernier scale is there, slider clamping scale is there, slider is there. This is the main scale, this is the measuring jaw, and this is the base. In selecting a suitable high carbon stainless steel to give a hardness of not less than 620 HA, balance should be drawn between the hardening quality and resistant to the staining because A steel which gives a high hardness number is likely to have low acid resistant quality. The various parts and nomenclature of the height gauge are illustrated in the figure 2.1. Vernier depth gauge. For measuring the depth of the hole recesses and distances from a plane surface to the projection, the vernier depth gauge is employed. In vernier depth gauge, the graduated scale can slide through the base and vernier scale remains fixed. Errors in use of the vernier depth gauge. For use of the vernier depth gauge, its base or anvil is rested on or against a reference surface and the scaled beam or tongue is pushed beyond the base of to contact the measured point. Errors are made due to manipulation. It must be ensured that the reference surface on which the depth gauge base is rested is satisfactorily true, flat, and square. The gauge through true and square can be imperceptibly tipped or canted. Gauge is interferentially tipped. Base is fitted when measured point is slided. Point pressure causes the base of a triple. Figure illustrates how the base or anvil of the depth gauge, which may be at first firmly rested on the reference surface, but is lifted due to applying high pressure in sliding the beam or tongue against the measured point. Sometimes measuring pressure may cause a little sound in the figure 2.6. Use of the vernier depth gauge. While using the vernier depth gauge, first of all, make sure that the reference surface on which the depth gauge is rested is satisfactorily true, flat, and square. Measurement depth is a little like measuring an inside diameter. The gauge itself is true and square, but can be imperfectly tipped or wanted because of the reference plane, perhaps, and offer enormous reading. In using a depth gauge, press the base or anvil on the reference surface and keep several kilograms hand pressure on it. Then in manipulating the gauge beam to the measured depth, is sure to apply the standard light measuring pressure on 2 kg, like making a light dot on paper with a pencil. Micrometer. A micrometer, sometimes known as the micrometer screw gauge, is a device incorporating a calibrated screw used widely for the precision measurement of the small distances in mechanical engineering and machining, as well as most mechanical trades. Along the other metrological instruments such as a dial, vernier, and dial caliper, micrometer are not always in the type of the form of the calipers. Types. Basic type. The topmost image shows the 3 most common types of the micrometer. The names are based on their application. Outside micrometer, typically used to measure wires, spheres, shaped, and blocks. Inside micrometer, used to measure the diameter of the hole. Depth micrometer measures depth of the slot and stop. Specialized type. Each type micrometer caliper can be fitted with a specialized anvil and spindle tips for the particular measuring task. For example, the anvil may be shaped in the form of the segment, screw thread in form of a V globe, or in the form of a large disc. Universal micrometer sets. Such that the flat spherical spline blade point knife edge. The micrometer may also refer a type of the micrometer whose frame is a modular component, allowing one micrometer to function as an outside micrometer depth step micrometer. Blade micrometer have a machining set of the narrow tip plates. They allow for the example of the measuring of the narrow ring. Pitch diameter micrometer, limit micrometer, bore micrometer, tube micrometer, micrometer stops.